This is the new Volkswagen Arteon Shooting Brake. It's a little bit like my snazzy jacket in the way that it's all showy and fashion. Whereas if I turn it inside out, you'll see that actually it's just a plain old black jacket. You see underneath its posh bodywork, that is essentially a Volkswagen Passat estate. But you're paying a bit extra for these cool looks. You see it starts from around £33,000 for this shooting brake version. You can get a hatchback version, which is a G2, it's about £1,000 less. Now you can save an average of, look at this, £3,000 off one of these through carwow. And if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can go to carwow to see how much you can save on one of these, or any new car for that matter. Now if you'd rather go to carwow later after you've watched this video, you can just Google help me carwow. My team and I will help you choose the right car for you and get it for a fair price from one of our trusted carwow dealers.
Buying a new car? Then head to carwow and my team will help you find your next car at a fair price. Carwow, your one-stop car buying comparison site.
Let's start this video off by talking about the design. So Volkswagen has updated the Arteon as part of a midlife facelift and added this shooting brake estate version to the range. Now for an estate car, it has a very slopey rear end, much more so than the boxy Passat. It's going to be interesting to see what the view's like out of that back window. Now other changes as part of the facelift include some new LED tail lights. I quite like the design of those. New redesigned rear bumper as well. Moving down the side, the range kicks off with 17-inch alloy wheels, which I think is going to be too small on this car. This is the R-line, so we've got 19s. I think that's about right. Once again, you can see this sloping roof line, especially from the side. What's that going to do for rear headspace? Once again, we'll find out about that a bit later in this video. Now there's loads of chrome on this car to make it look expensive, as does this crease down the side of the car. I think this looks really good. At the front, one of the key features about the Arteon is it has this brow over its lights. Can you see? Now as part of the facelift, you've also got some new lights and the grille's wider than before. There's lots of shiny chrome yet again to give the car this premium feel. And check this out, right? You might think these vents are fake, but oh no, they actually work. Help air slip down the side of the car, make it more aerodynamic and improve your fuel efficiency. It's a good looking car. Doesn't look like a Passat. But what about the inside? So it sort of is, but like with the outside, it's just got more style, it's got more flair. And as part of the facelift, they've redesigned the dash and the door trims as well. And it looks really, really good. Nice aluminium trim. This trim's nice as well. I'm liking this. And quality is solid as well. Squidgy here, squidgy here. In fact, look at that, oh yes. Very soft where you put your arms and your elbows. It's nice. They've also given it a new steering wheel, which looks good. It's good to hold, but what's not good about it are these horrible touch sensitive controls which vibrate when you use them, but you can also press them. And so you're not sure whether you should swipe or press, and it's just confusing. Also, they've got the swipe controls for the climate here. This is Volkswagen's new thing. It likes all touch sensitive buttons. And I know we're used to like touch sensitive stuff with our mobile phones, but it's just not quite so good in cars when you're trying not to take your eyes off the road. You want to be able to feel knobs. It's not an innuendo. Bizarrely though, with the new infotainment system, there's some knobs for your scroll wheel, there look, and your volume, it's a knob. Why can't we have knobs for the climate? At least the climate is separate from the infotainment system, and this infotainment system is pretty decent. The graphics are fairly sharp. It's all very good and responsive. The system has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you're just going to use that and your Google Maps, that's what I do. Or Arteons get this digital driver's display as standard. It's really nice. Loads of different views, although it's frustrating to cycle through them with these stupid buttons on the steering wheel. But yeah, it gives you lots of information. You can go and change the view. You can have widescreen sat nav as well. I like that. It's very, very nice. The other things I like in this car, the driving position. So the seats are super comfortable, and in this R-line version, they're electrically operated. The only thing I'm not sure about is the fake carbon fibre patterning on them. There's a couple of cup holders under here, which are very deep, which is good if you have a large cup of coffee, but not so good if you have one of the smaller ones, because you end up like taking the top off as you're trying to lift it out and you spill coffee all over you. I know that because I've done that. Underneath here, you've got some storage, not the largest space, and there's a couple of USBs there, and they're USB-Cs, very modern. I want to show you this because I like this feature, look. Oh yeah, an extending armrest for maximum chillage. Now you might be wondering, why is there this little slot here next to the 12-volt socket and the parking brake? Well, it actually fits your car's key rather neatly. Ta-da! Underneath here, another neat trick, space for your mobile phone. And it will even hold a large mobile phone such as my Galaxy S20 Ultra in its case, which is great. Down here, you have some extra storage, and I keep my hand sanitizer here. Now you've got a glove box which is a reasonable size, and it's lined with felt, and so are the door bins, which is great, which means that when you put things in there like a big bottle of water, and it will take a big bottle of water and another bottle, they don't rattle around. It's good. Thought of everything. In fact, it feels very premium here in the front of the car. Let's see if it continues in the back. So on some of its later cars, especially those low down the range, Volkswagen has been cutting costs, so the back of the Golf feels a bit cheap. Whereas here, you've still got all the soft, squidgy materials that you get in the front. How's the knee room? Knee room's good. In fact, it's really good, and you can stretch out. Look at this. There's loads of room here in the back, and these seats are very big, very comfy. This one's got the panoramic glass roof, which does eat into headroom a bit, but still, look at that. Headroom is good enough for me. People over 6 foot will be fine back here. If you need to carry 3 people in the back at once, it's a wide-ish car. There is a bit of a hump in the floor, so you've got to get your leg over, but this middle seat isn't too bad. Headroom is just about okay for me here in the middle, but anyone slightly taller is going to end up hitting their head off this plastic panel for the interior lights, which ain't going to be nice. If you want to fit a child seat, the Isofix anchor point covers just move out the way when you slot the base in place, which just makes it dead easy to do. Also, there's loads of room back here to manoeuvre a seat, and you don't even have to move the front passenger seat forward when you fit one of those really big rear-facing child seats. The only thing that's a bit annoying is that the sloping roofline means that you have to stoop down a little bit more when you're dealing with your baby than you would in the normal Passat estate. In fact, if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can watch my full in-depth video review of that car. There's another thing that's not so good on this Arteon as the normal Passat estate, and if I could just get my cameraman loose to just move back a bit, you'll see what it is. You see, we filmed through the back windows, but he's having a bit of trouble because the Arteon's back window only goes down this far, which is rubbish. You can come back in now. What is good though is this, look. I like the way they put these pouches on the back of the front seat, so you can put your mobile phone there and just like watch it. And you've got that as well as your normal seat back pockets. So there's lots of places for your electronic devices. Unfortunately though, there is only one place to charge them here in the back. Look, this car's only got a single 12-volt socket. There should be quite a few USBs if you ask me. Another thing that I should show you is this. You've got this big armrest when you fold this down, but the cup holders in it mean that you end up just putting your arm in the cup holder thing, so it's not as comfortable as it should be. If you want to carry longer items and 2 people at once, this part does fold down though. And it's quite a big opening that, but it's not as good as having the whole section fold down like it does on something such as a BMW 3 Series Touring. Door bins are big though, and they're lined here in the back, which is nice, so once again things don't rattle around. Let me just see if I could even squeeze in this large 1.5 litre bowl. And come on! Oh. Well, it does if I force it in. Very practical car this, and that extends of course to the boot. You see, every Arteon Shooting Brake has this feature. Imagine my hands are full with bags. Look. Automated tailgate, you just wave your foot underneath the rear bumper and it opens, and it does it every time. I use that feature a lot actually when I've been shopping. Move this out of the way. Look, you've got a 2-stage load cover, which is good, and it's quite easy to remove. Sometimes these things can be super heavy and difficult to remove. This one is not at all. Yay. The boot capacity, 565 litres. It's loads of space, though a Passat estate has 650 litres, but if we're going to play that game, you might as well get a Skoda Superb estate, which has 660 litres. And really, this is enough boot space for most people. You can carry 9 of these airplane size carry-on luggage cases in this car's boot. One problem is though that there's quite a big boot lip. So if you've got really heavy cases, you could do your back in loading and unloading this car. Underneath here, you do have some more storage, though I would actually pay the extra £400 for the full-size spare wheel on this car. I had a puncture the other day and I was glad that I had a spare because I could change it by the side of the road. Some other features in this boot. You've got some hooks there where you can hang your shopping off, stop things flying around the cabin. There's some tie-down points here and here. They're quite solid. What I can't find in this car's boot though is a 12-volt socket, which you'd want in an estate car, so you can plug in your little vacuum cleaner and clean it out after you've been carrying stuff to the tip. Another thing I can't find are any release handles for the back seat, so you have to lean all the way in to fold them down. And because there's no adjustable boot floor, there's a bit of a ridge when you want to push things to the front. Look, oh dear, oh dear. So you have to give it, oh God, didn't work that time either. Go on, get up there. That's a bit annoying. Do you know what? a Volvo V60's boot is almost as big as this, and it's got better functionality. And if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can watch my full in-depth video review of that car and see why its boot is a bit more clever than this car's. And that brings me up to 5 annoying things about the Arteon Shooting Brake. This car only comes with one standard colour. It's a boring grey. It's called Urano grey, though I call it urinal grey. This black, if you want this one, which is nice, £640. You probably thought that this mobile phone storage area had a wireless charging pad in it. After all, this is a new car. Surely it would have that feature. But no, you can't get wireless charging in this car, not even as an optional extra. In fact, there's a whole industry set up where people are making wireless charging pads which you can retrofit into the Passat and the Arteon. What are you playing at, Volkswagen? This R-line trim has what has to be among the worst fake exhaust pipes ever fitted to any car. And it's a bit pointless really, because if you look underneath you can see this 2-litre turbocharged petrol actually has 2 exhausts. Why don't they just have them? I think I just set off the automated tailgate. Anyway, why does it just have these exhaust tips coming out of there and have some real exhaust rather than this nonsense? The driving mode select button is over here. Now, that's fine when the gear selector is in park, but when you put it into drive, it blocks your line of sight, so you can't actually see where the button is to press it. Now, this isn't a problem if you are in a left-hand drive car, because the button's there right next to you, but Volkswagen hasn't switched that button bank over to the right-hand side for right-hand drive cars in the UK. Thanks very much for that, Volkswagen. You bastards. And like with some other cars, Volkswagen hasn't bothered to design a way that you can fit this load cover underneath this false floor. They should have done, but they failed.
Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5.
The panels in the door actually have lots of little dots in them where ambient lighting can shine through, and you can choose from all these different colours. It's really cool. The diesel engines available on this car has something called AdBlue twin dosing technology, and it reduces their NOx emissions by up to 80% compared to the engines in the outgoing Arteon. Also, the 2-litre petrol engine runs on something called the B cycle, which improves its efficiency by 10% whilst also increasing its torque. Now, the B cycle comes from the name of a chap called Ralph Budack. B-U-D-A-C-K. Anyway, he's a chap at VW who invented it. For an extra £1,100, you can upgrade to these Ergo Comfort seats, which have been specifically designed to be super comfortable and have an integrated headrest. And how's this for premium? A massage function. Now, if you want, you can pay an extra £1,100 on top of that to have the fine nappa leather and the weird carbon fibre effect, but I won't bother with that part. If you need some concrete proof that an Arteon is definitely a lot posher than a Passat, then check this out. Look, ooh, frameless windows. I mean, that is just the utmost of car luxury. Oh, the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on this car are wireless. Look at this. So you don't have to hook your phone up, it just auto connects. Brilliant. Let's go through the engine lineup on this Arteon. Now, this could be a little bit boring, so to liven this segment up, let's get the editor to play some music. And yeah, come on. So the range kicks off with a 1.5 litre turbo petrol with 150 horsepower, and it only comes as front wheel drive and with a 6-speed manual gearbox. Did you notice this? Posh gas struts. Anyway, this engine, oh yeah, is a 2-litre turbo petrol with 190 horsepower. It comes only with a automatic gearbox. It's front wheel drive as well. The range topping version though, you can get a 2-litre with 320 horsepower in the R model. Not just the normal R line, which is a trim level like this car has, full fat performance version. It has 4-wheel drive and a 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox with launch control. Then there's the diesels. Now the diesels, they have, it's stupid. Right, let's just continue. Right, so the diesels, stop the music. The diesels, both 2-litre. There's a 150 horsepower version, front wheel drive, 6-speed manual or automatic. Then there's 190 horsepower, that is automatic only, and you can get it front wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Finally, there's the plug-in hybrid. That has a 1.4 litre turbocharged petrol engine, an electric motor, a 13 kilowatt hour battery, 218 horsepower, it's front wheel drive only, and has an automatic gearbox. And an electric only range of 33 miles. Anyway, that's enough about all that. Which version of the Arteon should you go for? Well, I'm going to configure my perfect Arteon using the carwow configurator, engine, gearbox choice and trim level. And I've got an offer back from one of our trusted carwow dealers. And if you want to see which car I think is the best and the offer I've got on it, click on the pop-out banner up there to go check it out. Let's see what this Arteon is like to drive, starting with in town. So the first thing you notice is that it's very, very comfy. This car actually has 19-inch alloy wheels, yet it still deals with bumps surprisingly well. If you want to make it even better, you can get adaptive dampers for around £1,000. The turning circle on this car isn't the best in the world because it is quite long, but it's similar to other estates like this, so it's fine. Steering's light as well. This automatic gearbox does a good job of just shuffling you along effortlessly. It's good. There is one problem. Rear visibility is rubbish. Bit of a faff when you're trying to park. Yes, you've got parking sensors, but it is annoying not to have that reversing camera as standard. And it's quite a blind spot when you're looking over your shoulder if you're pulling out at filter junctions and stuff like that because of that big back pillar. It's my only complaint though, really. It's a super easy car to drive. Let me just check the brakes. Oh yes, not too grabby, not too soft, bang on. So what's this Arteon like on the motorway? Well, this one has the all singing, all dancing automatic cruise control system, so I'm gonna engage it so that I don't have to do any of the faffage of concentrating. Well, obviously I'm gonna keep concentrating. We've got it on, set the speed, I can alter the distance that I want to be from the car in front. I've got my lane keeping assist on as well, so it's basically steering to keep me in lane. Look at that. Hooks you up nice to the centre of the lane, takes the strain out of motorway driving. You just have to monitor it. It does all the fine adjustments and braking and accelerating, and it'll do it in a traffic jam as well, so it'll just shunt you along in traffic, so you don't have to touch the pedals. It's great. The engine in this car is a 2-litre turbo petrol, and it's fairly punchy. So I'm just cruising along around 55 miles an hour. I want to overtake. I'll show you how it responds and how quickly the gearbox responds now. So, flooring it. Bit of a pause on the gearbox, but then this thing just takes off. It's quite a sporty engine, really. But that doesn't mean that it's going to absolutely rinse you out on fuel consumption. That is really good, considering how punchy it is. Do you know what? This Passat is an app. That was a Freudian slip, because it does feel like a Passat. You have got a Volkswagen Passat in a pretty outfit. So you've got all the benefits of the Passat, which means that it's really comfy on the motorway. It's quiet. These seats are unbelievably comfortable. These are the best seats I've ever sat in a Volkswagen, I'm sure. They're lovely. But people do look at this car because it's good looking, like they wouldn't do in a Passat. Not one bit. It's nice. Great for long distances. Finally, I'm going to see what this Arteon is like on a twisty country road. So I'm going to put it into sports mode and see where the button is without crashing. Come on, come on, come on, hard to do. There we go. So it's sharpening up the throttle response, added some weight to the steering. I'm going to whack the gearbox in manual as well, change gears myself. If I had the adaptive dampers, it would stiffen those up as well, but I haven't. So largely, sport mode's pointless. I tell you what, when you're going quicker, the suspension is brilliant over bumps. It just like floats down the road. Yeah, it doesn't wallow or lean much in the corners. It just grips and goes round. Oh, it's getting a bit out of shape there with those bumps. Yeah, it's not quite as tied down as a BMW 3 Series Touring, which does feel more sporty and is more fun with its rear-wheel drive setup. This particular car I'm driving is front-wheel drive, and it just doesn't have that sensation of pushing you out of a turn in the same way that a 3 Series Touring does. In fact, if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out button up there to go watch it. Oh, there we go, a bit more bumpy. Just loses composure when you're really, really pushing it. But it's not designed to be really, really pushed. This is good. It's good enough. So then, what's my final verdict on the Volkswagen Arteon Shooting Brake? Should you, avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the Arteon Shooting Brake. It's not quite as practical as the Passat estate, but it's just far more exciting to look at. If you'd like to watch some more videos, just click on the video windows there. And why don't you sign up to the new CarWow newsletter? What you have to do is click on that box there. It's completely free, and then we'll keep you up to date with all the latest new cars and reviews in between these video uploads. Thanks for watching. You should shortlist the Arteon Shooting Brake. Oh yeah.